So our next speaker, I think, is going to carry on very nicely with this theme, Dugan from Compute Canada. Sounds like a guy we need to know going forward. And he's going to talk about Compute Canada's role in supporting Canadian genomics research. So,
thank you very much for having me here. So I'm the Chief Science Officer of Compute Canada. I'm also a Professor of Physics at SFU. So I'm what I would call an old school big data guy. You know, more 1970s and 80s technology than some of the stuff that gets flashed on the screen in Paul's talk. So Compute Canada, which I will skip ahead to, is a national not-for-profit corporation. The members of that corporation are the universities and research hospitals across Canada that partner together to support their research community through us. So we provide advanced research computing services. We do that across all disciplines. So up on the right-hand side here is a pie chart. If I take the faculty research groups that we support, depends on how you count. This is the 2,500 who actually used some of our resources last year. There are more than 3,500 who are registered, but these are the ones that have been active. And you can see that the number one, if you just count the people, the number one set of faculty members are the engineers at about 20%. And then there's biology and the life sciences, and physics, and chemistry and biochemistry, and you can go all the way around. If we had shown that same plot, or that same pie chart a few years ago, it would have looked quite different. It would have looked, there would have been a lot more of the physics and chemistry and engineering. This biology and life sciences wouldn't have been so big. And some of these other categories over here, which are growing very quickly, would not have shown up as a color on the plot. So what do we offer right now? We operate 50 systems in 27 different data centers across the country. That's about 200,000 computational cores and about 20 petabytes of disk. It's not free, but it is getting cheaper. So we use that to serve this group of people. So that's the general Compute Canada story. There's a bunch of things that we do that don't get spoken about very broadly, and so I thought I would just hit them each for like 2 seconds. So we have about 200 staff at 35 institutions. 60 of those staff have PhDs. Some of those have PhDs in areas related to genomics, but many of them have them in physics, chemistry, any other thing. But they apply their training as researchers to problems that they face in any discipline. We offer a connection, I'll talk more about this in a minute, to 24 of our sites through a portal that allows you to move data in and out easily and efficiently. We employ visualization experts, so we have a visualization group that can come to a campus or an institution and give a training on scientific visualization, or can sit down with you and help with a data set and help it be visualized. We have a collaboration platform which we run because we have to. We have 200 people at 35 institutions. We have to talk to each other. We make that available also to the research community. And we have a research platforms and portals competition that we ran for the first time in the fall. And so that started to let the world know that we also do things like science gateways, portals, various different kinds of support that we weren't very well known for before. Everyone assumed we did high performance computing and you SSHN on a command line and you issue commands. And we're very happy with that. We like that too, but it's not all we do. We do offer things, we do offer Hadoop type services, but we do it, I would say that a lot of the modern big data stuff that you just heard about has been a little bit shoehorned onto the hardware resources that we have today. And we're launching a general purpose research cloud based on OpenStack in February. So, Compute Canada and Genomics, I thought I'd put one slide of what we've been doing in the past and then talk a little bit about some initiatives for the future. So Compute Canada supports all disciplines, but we prioritize who gets access to the resources at this moment with the highest priority. Through a merit review, through a competition, competitive process. And so if I looked at the 2015 competition, those
Those awards were just given out in December for this year. And we have a bioinformatics, neuroscience, and medical imaging panel that evaluates applications. It actually turns out this year is the single largest group of applications that came to us. So these are special allocations beyond just normal usage. And there were 57 applications to that expert panel, which now makes it our biggest one. They allocated 3 petabytes of disk and 10,000 core years and 50 GPU years, and cost us $6 or $7 million to operate on our standard sort of price scale. And it's not the amount that is large and shocking, but the trend is such that in 2013 there were 21 such applications, and when you include ongoing applications, then we're up to 83 this year. And so we've gone up by a factor of 4 in 3 years, and realized that it's still only the tip of the iceberg for what could come. So to deal with this kind of increase, we have to sort of expand our knowledge base, expand the sort of Compute Canada family. We did that successfully with 2 organizations in 2014. One is the BC Genome Science Centre. Oh, I got that acronym wrong. The BC Genome Science Centre became a Compute Canada node in 2014, which means they're now part of Compute Canada. I was at one of our big technical summits last week, and there were BC Genome Science Centre people there contributing and working as part of the team. And HPC for Health in Toronto is another Compute Canada node. We also partner in grants. So, for example, we've partnered in a platform grant to Genome Canada this year, which hopefully will be announced soon. So, we have some challenges in supporting genomics effectively. One of them is just the same challenge everybody has, is just rapid growth and change in this area. So rapid growth in storage needs and compute needs and networking to move things around, and in the way that the research is done is changing quickly. In data movement and management, so it's not just moving the data necessarily from a genome center to a place where you can do further analysis on it, but it's then managing that data set. Not in part managing the security aspects, but also just being able to find it again later. And then there's the security parts, including personal health information. Maybe there has to be some kind of algorithmic de-identification of the data before you can use it, and then just an issue of trust. People aren't going to let you use the data unless you're a trusted place to put it. And so since we span Canada, what trust means isn't the same in every province or in every health region, or etc. So we have a complex problem to solve if we want people in British Columbia to be able to share data with people in Ontario, put that data together and do something interesting with it. So there are many initiatives underway within Compute Canada and the genomics community, and I think we have to work together. Compute Canada can't solve genomics problems. It has to be people from the genomics community coming and saying, this is what we need, and working closely with us to make that go. We've taken some steps, and we are taking some steps. One is we did hire a director of information security late in 2014, so we're in the process of writing a national framework for private data sets that we can then adapt to each region. And I'll highlight a couple of more technical initiatives in the next couple of slides. So something that we brought up in 2014 is the Globus data transfer service. And so what this allows us to do is a researcher to go into a cloud and then arrange for a point-to-point transfer of data from one site to another without it ever passing through here. And so that point-to-point transfer is about as efficient as we can make it over a network. And the interface is about as simple as it can get, in that you log in, you have a big screen with where the data is on the left and where you want it to go on the right, you press the button and it goes. And it doesn't matter if it's a terabyte or a petabyte or something in between. Well, it takes longer to move a petabyte, but the button's the same. So this is what it looks like for me. This is me on one Compute Canada system, me on another Compute Canada system, but I could also do it from my laptop to Compute Canada, from Compute Canada to my laptop, or to labs around the world. So the status is we've deployed it at our 24 largest storage sites. It's fire and forget. So if you need to move a petabyte, you press the button and you walk away, and you can come back a week later and see if it's done. There's optional encryption. That does slow things down, but you can just click a checkbox and encrypt it. Dataset integrity is checked. There's user-controlled dataset sharing, so you can share with people around the world if you so choose. There's a desktop application in many ways to do it. So since we've launched it relatively recently, users have already logged in and moved 470 terabytes of data and 35 million files. And we're investigating with Globus some of their other services. In the US, for example, they run Globus Genomics, which we were talking about. And you can see these are some very fuzzy dots from around the world about who's transferring data in and out of our sites. You can see British Columbia on the left, Ontario, but then there's stuff coming from all over. And then much more focused on this community is the GenApp project. So this is a Canary-funded software project for genetics and genomics analysis platform, and this is being deployed on a national scale. This leverages technologies we use for other things. So for example, the CERN virtual machine file system is something that I use in my research in particle physics to distribute the same piece of code to more than 100 sites around the world so I can keep running it. We now use that inside GenApp to make standard code sets available at multiple sites in Compute Canada. And so if you set up, we have a software librarian that can input this and it'll appear in multiple places instead of having to set it up at each place. So we're also in discussion with Globus about integration with their services to be able to move data in when it's needed. It leverages community tools like Galaxy. There are already some pipelines in there from the McGill Center. It hosts a mirror of the UCSC Genome browser, and it is the host for the International Human Epigenetic Consortium data portal. And so this is something that's been awarded a multi-year research platform and portal award by Compute Canada in the fall. And so this is how you would do it. You would log in, you would see I want to start a Galaxy instance and I want to start it at. And at the time this picture was taken, there was only Sherbrooke and McGill. But you can imagine many more there, depending on where your data is, you could do it. And the very last topic I want to talk about is the CFI Cyberinfrastructure Call. We were just doing a consultation session this morning across town about this. The community, Compute Canada is looking for feedback on what we're planning to build as part of CFI Cyberinfrastructure, so-called Challenge 2. It's a renewal of our platform. But researchers are invited in what's called Challenge 1 to put together a consortia of people who can build tools to mine their data, to organize their data, and to analyze their data. So Compute Canada, if you have any questions about our Challenge 2 part, or you want to work with us on your Challenge 1, you can do so by the addresses on this page. So, in summary, we work with users from all disciplines, but I would say that people in this room represent the fastest growing area of service for Compute Canada. So we have a bunch of challenges to meet to serve you properly, and we invite you to let us know how to do it best. Thanks.